Right then, we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It said 23 seconds there we were live, but it wasn't, was it? It was, can you see, live 33 seconds.
I know.
Let's jump ahead. Anyway, we're here for the next hour or so to chat about our fabulous group. What's the matter? You haven't got your pad. Where's your pad, Pauline? There you are. He's not prepared, is he? He's cleaned his glasses, though. Oh, just drop that. Anyway, so here for the next.
Just in case you're wondering, it's just water.
Yes, it is. We're detoxing after some fun time on Riviera Radiance with our group cruise. It was absolutely fantastic. We had such a great time. Fantastic people. It was just wonderful seeing new friendships being made once again, wasn't it, Paulie? And it was the group just got on so perfectly. We laughed so much, I think, in the 5-6 days that we were there. Also, there are a few things. Riviera Radiance, beautiful ship, and Riviera travel were excellent. But there was a few things that we're going to discuss, which we think could, if we were going to do another river cruise, these are the things that we would think about. So stick with us and we'll talk through those. But here's a little taster of what's the matter?
I just thought it all looked strange. There's no comments on the sides.
No, because I've got the pictures up here. Here's all the comments, look, Paulie.
Oh, I just didn't think there was anybody watching. Oh no, we've only been away for.
So this is our jolly group that we had such a great time with. We've got quite a few pictures and videos from by the Christmas tree as well, which we're going to be. We just laughed and laughed so much. The ship was beautiful, Riviera Radiance. We had fun on the excursions that we were with our group, had our own coach, which was brilliant. And there was lots of big sausages had, wasn't there, Paulie? Yes. So yes. So please start asking us questions about anything you like. We're not here just to talk about Riviera Radiance, but obviously that's what the trip that we've just been back from. We've caught up with our sleep eventually, haven't we? Because we were pretty shattered when we got home, but it's been absolutely fantastic.
Well, we had the last flight home, so we got into bed about 3 a.m. I believe. We did.
But
Carole let me have a lie-in 6:15. She let me stay in bed till.
You didn't get out to
a.m.
No, you didn't get up to about 1 p.m. No, how it worked was obviously with Riviera Travel, we had 4 different flights coming in. We had some from Heathrow, some from Stansted, some from Manchester, and some people from Bristol with us. And obviously the times are different. Some got there earlier, some got there later. And that's just how it is when you've booked a river cruise coming from different airports. And some headed off in the morning. When we got back to Budapest, we had 2 overnights in Budapest. We're in Bratislava and we were in Vienna. But the pros and cons to it, isn't it? Because we were last to go, which meant we had an extra day in Budapest with a Heathrow flight, left the ship right in the morning at like 9 o'clock. We didn't leave the ship till sort of 5:45 in the evening. So we had another lovely day in Budapest. We were so shattered by, we were jealous of everyone going, but actually in the end, it was an added bonus. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? And that's how it is. So let's have a look at the comments and start going through those, and we can answer your questions as we're going along. So we've got Carrie and Mike saying we logged in on 78 minutes left to go into the live and one waiting. Thought we'd be the first, but you are today. And you're still in Japan. So that's pretty good going, isn't it, really?
Well, I got no idea what time it is in Japan.
No, they've been sharing with us their trip in Japan. It looks absolutely fantastic. And they said, how many steamer trunks are you guys taking on the big South Pacific adventure?
I'm taking a small hold-all, like this big.
Hand luggage.
And Carole's taking 17 family-sized cases.
No, actually, because the big plus, we've got our laundry package with Holland America, which we paid for the 42-day cruise. So, and that's cost us £300 between us, which we thought was well worth it because we've got 30 kilograms with Emirates because we're flying via Dubai to Sydney. We just felt that we can take about 9 days worth of clothes and get them laundered and have no problems at all. And we've used Holland America Laundry a couple of times and had their packages. Great value. And we've never had the clothes has come back perfect, hasn't it, Paulie?
So this is the time when it all comes back shredded.
Well, hopefully
like
not.
They've used a fire extinguisher on it.
True to see us. So, hi, my lovelies. Welcome back. Question: what was the biggest thing you learned doing your first river cruise, and would you do anything different next time? It wasn't our first river cruise, Trudy, because this was our 4th, but it was our first river cruise group that we've done. Yes. A group cruise. There was 37 of us. What would we say we've learned? We've learned that actually having a group cruise on a river cruise is really good fun. We the ship Riviera Radiance had a great layout in that it had a sort of separate split level reception and bar area, so there were different places to sit, whereas it wasn't just one big lounge like a lot of the ships have. And so that worked really well because our group tended to congregate in the bar area right at the front of the ship. So the ship was quite warm because the weather was cool outside, so we could just go out to the front and admire the view at the same time. So I think I was worried that we wouldn't all be able to sort of sit together and socialize together because of how the ship held 100. There was 170 passengers on, but actually, that worked really well, didn't it?
Going back to what you're saying about the temperature on the ship, it always seems to be the case that if you do a cold cruise, the ship is really ridiculously hot.
Yeah,
it's almost like they're overcompensating for the coldness outside, and they turn everything up to 9 million degrees.
Yeah,
and I gotta be honest. I mean, obviously, certain people get to certain times of their lives and they're hot, and then they're cold, and then they're hot, and then they're cold.
Me.
I think it's a Katy Perry song, and them hot and they're cold. You know the word. And even I was like that because it was just so roasting. But luckily, there was these doors right at the front where you had a little bit of deck space. You could go out and look at the view. And under normal circumstances, every time somebody went through that door on a lot of cruises we've been on, you'd want to throw something at them. But we were rejoicing every time somebody went out to the door.
Because you just had a little bit of air coming through. So that was nice. What was the biggest thing you learned?
We didn't read. I wouldn't say we learned anything. I mean, obviously we've learned about itineraries and when times staying in port, what's good, what's bad. It's all sorts of stuff. But the trouble is, when you book this stuff up, like we had no idea what time we were going to be in port from here until then or whatever. And there was some disappointments, but I don't know of any way. I don't know if Dan's in the chat or if anybody in the chat that knows, when you book something as far in advance as that, do you know the time you're going to be spent in port?
This is, I think this is a good point that Paul's bringing up, which we'll go talk about now, is this was obviously a Yoretides river cruise. So the point of going to Budapest, Bratislava and Vienna was to make the most of the Christmas markets. Now, in Budapest, we had the best of both worlds because we had 2 overnights. Brilliant. So we've seen Budapest in the day, we've seen Budapest at night, which was very, very spectacular. In Bratislava, our sail away time was 5:30. So obviously it was getting dark about 4:30, but by the time the Christmas market in Bratislava was starting to twinkle and come alive, it was time for us to get back on the ship, which was frustrating. So that was one thing I would look at and say, and the feedback that we've already given to Riviera, because it's not like you get an email when you get home from Riviera that you get given a paper copy on the board or you do a QR code. So we filled in the paper copy when we're on board with all these points that we thought of that, with the Bratislava, it would be better to be in port from 12 midday to 9 p.m. because then you'd have got that crossover. We had a fantastic time in Bratislava, but our excursion was at 9 in the morning, which meant by sort of 1 o'clock we did our self-exploring, and then by 4 o'clock, 4:30, we had to make our way back to the ship. So that was frustrating. Vienna, sorry.
Let me just say this one quickly. So in case anybody's wondering as well, there's no issues with the ship sailing at night. So if anybody's thinking, probably they had to sail at that time, but there's not. There's no issues whatsoever.
Well, we don't know what Riviera have agreed for the port authorities.
Oh, no, but I'm just saying about, in case anybody's thinking, well, they probably had to go at that time because of because they can't sail at night. Well, they can. So
we sailed at night and we sailed in the day. We went through a lock at night. We went, So, and then Vienna, we were great. We're there till 9 p.m. But that was the night they decided to have their gala night. And I'm thinking, why didn't you have the gala night on Bratislava night when the
sail away was 5:30?
But part of the gala night was all about being in Vienna and embracing the classical music. So they had the gala night followed by a classical concert by a classical quartet. So there was just a few things.
But it perfectly sums up that where they've made a massive mistake was because they put you in Vienna, which Vienna is absolutely spectacular, and to see that all lit up would have been amazing, but we didn't.
No.
So
we could have,
but they've put you there thinking, right, we're going to be here till 9 o'clock at night. This is going to be great. The last shuttle bus back to the ship was 5 o'clock.
Yes.
And then they put on the gala dinner and they have entertainment from off the ship.
Yeah.
To encourage you to be on the ship. So they're letting you stay later, but they're also almost trying to force you to get back on the ship. So to me, it was a bit of a,
that was our two frustrations.
That was our two things.
Our two frustrations was leaving Bratislava early and not being able to. We could have chose to miss the gala night and stayed out in Vienna and got an Uber back, which would only been about €15. But the experience on Riviera Radiance, it sounds like we're being very negative, but the experience on Riviera Radiance was excellent. It's a beautiful, beautiful ship. The service we had mostly was very good. The food we had was good. And on gala night and on also in their specialty restaurant, which is included the price, was exceptional, which we'll go on to a bit more. But that is the two. So the takeaway message we've got: would we do another Christmas river cruise? And the answer would be, do you know, not sure, because I'd want confirmation that we had time in these ports to experience all the Christmas markets. And the other thing about Riviera Radiance, which has just popped in my head, got this beautiful top deck. It's got hammocks, it's got sitting areas, it's got a little pool. Some of our group, Mad, that's Donna, Johnny and Will and Andrea, got in there when they were going through the locks and stuff. But for us as a group, because the weather was not good, which we knew that was going to be the case in December, to not utilize that top deck, I felt was a real shame. So we're torn now as, would we do another river group cruise? Yes, we would. Would we do another Christmas river cruise? Or would we do a river cruise that was more guaranteed to get better weather? So that's where we are in our headspace at the moment, totally. I think, isn't it? So, but anyway, let's see what other questions you've got about
But the upshot is, what have we learned? At the moment, there's more questions than answers.
Yeah. But we're just going through all our, I'm started to write notes about everything and, you know, and just go through, but it was, that all said, it was fantastic.
Oh, we had
such a blast. It was amazing. Time. These are little things that we thought, how could this experience have been enhanced even more? I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but let's get through some more questions. MJ's here. So everybody from Wet and Windy Basingstoke. We're looking forward to tonight's live. Yes, MJ's put a Christmas tree up today and it looks lovely. She was sharing it on Discord.
I don't think anybody in the UK is going to be escaping a wet and windy.
We've got Storm Bram, is it? BRAM?
Bram, yeah.
So today has just been so wet and windy.
Bram Stoker.
Yes, he's like Dracula. Oh.
Oh no, that was Hannibal Lecter.
Corinne's just asking, how did Riviera and Radiance compare to the other European river cruising companies you've taken?
I thought the ship was absolutely beautiful. Couldn't fault the ship in any way, shape, or form. It was lovely. It was just full of loveliness.
Yeah.
The staff were fab. The bar staff, the only issues we had with staff was the bar staff. And I think the biggest problem is when you had you had drinks with your lunch, drinks with your dinner, but from 6 p.m. until midnight, you had a section of included drinks, and there was a page in the menu what was included. Virtually none of those drinks were available, and then when you ask for something, well, we haven't got that. Yeah, but that's what's included. Oh, well, we got this, but yeah, but that's rubbish though. And the trouble is, it always seemed to be when you're in the restaurants, the drinks were fabulous. When you're in the bar, the drinks weren't so fabulous. And the only time we had any issues with staff was in the bar area. And there was a few frosty moments. And I know I'm not going to name names, it's up to them if they want to say anything. But I know there was a couple who had an incident with the bar manager where there was some well,
they wanted Chardonnay, which was actually on the all included, but he said we got no Chardonnay. It's like, well, you can't have Chardonnay. It said, but it's here on the bar, and he got quite frosty on that occasion. It was a little bit up and down. However, the restaurant staff, Sasha and his team, we thought were absolutely superb. From a food point of view, we thought that the food was good to very good. We didn't think the food was exceptional, apart from in the Riverside Kitchen, which is an included restaurant that you have to book, and that was absolutely spot on. So if we compared them, I say they're a step up from TUI. And then I say we've got Riviera. Then I'd say you go, if you want fine dining, then Avalon and Amma Waterways are slightly above Riviera. Saying that, the food that we had, I thought was really,
was
really
very
good. It was really good.
Wasn't exceptional.
No,
it was very good.
But it was very, very good.
The majority, it was very good.
It was very, very good. So from a ship point of view, I think Riviera Radiance is up there with Avalon and Amma Waterways. From a luxury. The cabin wasn't the biggest in the world, but it was so comfortable and everything that you needed was there. So from an environment, I don't think, they're up there with everyone. Yeah.
And at the price point that they're at, I think they're very, very good value for money.
Because if you look at the prices, we were docking with sort of Amma Waterways and Viking, and people saying, "Oh my God, that ship's got a bigger pool." I said, "Yeah, but you're going to be paying that sort of prices." Where Riviera is a very good. We think for us, it suits our budget. We can't really, if we wanted to go on Viking, that would have cost double the money, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I had a man come up to us, and he knew how to make friends and influence people. And he came up, he said, "Oh, apparently you're a travel blogger." He wasn't in our group. "I've never heard of you." I thought, well, that means I don't exist then, because you never heard of me. And then he started showing off because he didn't get a drink for the captain's toast because he hadn't walked in through the right entrance. Door. He'd gone around across the top of the deck, down and through the bar, where they had staff manned at the proper entrance giving you a glass of champagne. Well, he didn't get one. And he was going on and on. "You would never get this on Viking, Viking this, Viking that, Viking something else." And I said, but Viking's 3 times the price of this cruise. I don't compare prices.
Yeah, he was a bit strange.
And I thought, well, you're just a knob then, aren't
you? But we did meet, actually, because obviously, as soon as we got on there, one of the first nights, so Donna's in the chat, I don't share, but Donna, we named her the Festive Queen because she had us all decked out. Oh, I didn't show you this. Let me show you this, because we had such a laugh. And it was down to the people in the group that made it, because this is because Donna had us all wearing different stuff, and it was just such good fun. So people were coming up to us, saying, "Oh my God, you look like you're having such a good time. What's the group, etc." And there was another group, a party, a guy who was his 60th birthday. There's 14 of them, and we got chatting to them. So it was a really great atmosphere on board, not just within our group, but with other people. And other people would come and chat. And one of the funniest comments was, I was sat at breakfast, and there was a couple behind us. Mark and Sheila, who were a fantastic company, and they were sat with this couple that didn't know who we were.
Mark and Sheila were in our group. The couple they were with weren't in our group.
So Mark and Sheila, we're with Paul and Carole. They've got a YouTube channel, website, and they're sort of cruise bloggers. And they're like, oh, they said YouTube. Oh, and cruising. Are they swingers? And Mark and Sheila burst out laughing. I could hear this behind me thinking, I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going to say anything. But thankfully, I think...
I was there going...
No, no. We want to make that quite clear that is not. But that did make us laugh out loud. So anyway, let's go back to see who else is here. That's popped up here. So Mike and Carole said it's... they're back home. 2.4 inches of rain in 24 hours in Washington State. It's seems very
just
wet.
Just a summer's day in England, that is.
Nick is so saying, "Hello, good evening, welcome, friends old and new. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. Share and subscribe. Thank you so much, Nick." Trudy's saying that, "Hi, everybody in the chat. Diabolical weather here in Collins Quay. I already had a fight with one of my fences. Yeah, at the moment it's still propped up. So much rain. So it is. It's not very good at all, is it?" And Nick's just saying, if you've got a question, please start your comment with question, which he's just done here. So that's a good example. As we left it too late to join you for this year's Christmas River Cruise, will there be another one in the future? Not sure at the moment, are we? Whether we're doing another... There'll definitely be another River Cruise.
Definitely another River Cruise. Will there be another Christmas one? I don't know.
We need to look at our dates and everything. And like I said about that top deck utilization, I think as a group would be a really added bonus to the group. So we're going to think. I think what we've learned from having conversations with everyone on board is that people really really enjoyed the small crowd, and everyone got to speak to everyone. So doing just 37 was really nice. So Paul and I agree that we love doing our group cruises. So I think maybe in the future we'll do more with smaller groups. We'll still have our big ones on the ocean cruise, but we'll do some smaller, more bespoke cruises that are just and do them more often.
Listen to you,
Bespoke, because
That's
it
what's
is
in
a
a
very
wheel,
different
innit?
experience.
I had one of them in a push bike wheel, a bespoke.
You did, you?
Yeah.
So that's something we're obviously considering to do them more often than we've got them booked at the moment. Rose is here, so Rose has recovered. Rose was at the gym the next day, and I'm like, Rose, fair play to you. Fair play to you.
Did more miles on the running machine than our riverboat did.
Yes.
Well, our riverboat didn't do any on the running machine, obviously.
Joseph is here. So question first, we're back from our sailing on the QM2. Loved it. Brilliant. We'll have to have a chat about that then, Joe. It'd be great to hear what you thought. And what's your 2 favourite things from your river group cruise? Hugs to little Louie. 2 favourite things. Just how much we laughed. The banter between people. It was so evident that everyone was there just to have fun. And it was just constant banter from one group to other, seeing different people chat to each other that never met each other before, and just watching. I like to stand back and just watching people just rolling around laughing. It was just so much fun. Yours?
Oh, that too.
That's
it was no, it was, and it wasn't just on the ship. Even when we were doing the walking tours, it was just, there was always the naughty ones at the back that was sort of listening to the tour, but also like saying silly things to each other. I don't know who that was because I wasn't at the back.
No, not much. So Barbara saying, hi everyone from a soggy Highcliffe and Steve X. So let's pay the balance on my Queen Victoria group cruise today. Only 4 months to go. Yes, our next one is in April. It's our patrons and members only cruise. We've had a few people that come on the river cruise that have just actually signed up to join us on there as well. So that's awesome. We're off to France, Spain and Portugal, aren't we?
We are.
So that's in April. So we're really, really looking forward to that. Yes, we haven't paid our balance yet. It's due on the 21st. So we're holding out.
We're holding out for a lottery win.
So yes. So Andy and Carla here, who knows, still recover from an epic river cruise. Hope everyone's well and safe from a storm, Brown. Yes, you were such great company, Carla and Andy. So thank you so much for joining us. It was fabulous. Rose is saying her bake of the week is cranberry and sultana muffins. Lovely, lovely. Anna and Mike are here, still exhausted from the river cruise, but well worth the suffering. It was. We had such a laugh, so much fun. And Claire's here, even though I love to see so many early faces.
Evening, all Claire.
Catherine's here as well. Thought I was going to be late to the party, but this is all the early. And Kevin's here, lovely Kevin from New York. So great to see you. Yo. I think Andy's saying, what was your favourite port of the river cruise?
Do you know my favourite port was the one that they bought out after the gala dinner? That was delicious.
Yes,
that was so nice.
It was a really nice port. But for me,
does he not mean that? No?
I loved being in Vienna. Last time we were in Bratislava, we had a really good talk around Bratislava and Budapest. So for me, Vienna, we didn't spend so much time, did we, last time? So getting back to Vienna and having a mooch around and seeing the market start to light up before we had to get back to the ship was quite a highlight for me. We stopped at a lovely cafe to get some, we wanted a hot chocolate because it was really cold, a hot chocolate, and we wanted obviously an apple strudel. And I somehow managed, just about to attack the apple strudel, and managed to hit the whole hot chocolate all down my handbag and onto the floor.
Which it didn't matter because it was only £10 a cup.
No, it wasn't. It was $4.50. But anyway, she gave me a free one. The waitress was lovely. It was a cafe called Ada, AIDA, like the cruise ships, the German cruise ships. And it's right on the corner by St. Stephen's Church. And they've got a toilet in there as well. So if you need a toilet, you just go up the stairs. But the hot chocolate was delicious. And the apple strudel was amazing. And Paul, you had a nice slice as well, didn't you?
I had a high slice, which was 7 foot tall. But this is one of those stories which could mean nothing at all. But I once again was lagging behind at the back of the pack taking photos. And then I looked up and I looked to my left and a man was walking past me and he looked to his left and our eyes met.
Yes.
And I sort of did a double take and then I carried on walking. If it wasn't Ryan Reynolds, it was his twin brother. So if anybody knows how they can find about if Ryan Reynolds was in Vienna last week, because it was
You were convinced, weren't you? I said, "Are you sure?"
Absolutely
You were
100. But you know,
convinced.
it's one of them times. And of course, because I was about 20 foot behind everybody else, I caught him up quickly. Said, "Oh my God, I think I just seen Ryan Reynolds." Well, where? And I said, "You know," and I turned around and it was like he disappeared into the night, into the ether.
Because that's another thing to think about this time of year. There's lots of crowds. So if you don't like crowds, then Christmas markets aren't going to be your thing. I can't
guarantee that Ryan Reynolds is going to be there.
No, exactly that.
I can't guarantee he was there this time either. But
Rob's made it. He's been told to have a 15-minute meeting with the boss at 2 p.m. But I'm eager to hear about your adventures. So thank you for coming. Catherine's saying, what was the best bit Christmas market and best sausage?
Well, see, I'm going to go first on the sausages because I only had one big sausage. And that was in Vienna.
You chose a beef one.
It was beef and cheese. And I have to say, it was fabulous. And if you've seen the picture that Carole showed, if you put the picture back up.
Let me just get that off. Oh, where is it? Oh, the picture of the sausage.
Yes. So that is my beef and cheese.
You'd already bitten yours.
Well, I did say I had already circumcised mine, but apparently that was bad form to say that. But that was my beef and cheese, and Carole had a pork.
I just wanted a wiener Wurstanzel wiener just in pork.
Okay, so if you take a bit off. Now, what was great about this place? What are you doing there?
I don't know.
Just take it off. What's the matter?
There, we're back.
What was great about this thing? It was like a French stick, so it wasn't a roll cut down.
The middle.
And they put a hole down into the French stick with some sort of spike, and then they squirted your sauce down the hole, and then they stuck your sausage in. So it meant, apart from Carole, because she managed to break her roll somehow. I don't even know how she's done that. I broke my roll.
Well, I didn't like that they pushed all the sausage down the bottom, because all the sauce down the bottom, because then you got to the bottom, the bottom was sausage from the sauces.
No, because it wasn't. Well, he must have done a poor job on yours. But my roll stayed intact the whole time, and that was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, my sausage.
What was your best sausage?
I had in Bratislava. Oh my gosh! I seen this big sausage. I thought I want that one. And I went then to a table, because you have lots of stand-up tables around these markets. I went there, and Paul had bought this like potato cake thing and put it on the table. And then this young lad sort of motioned to us, could he put his, he had a crepe on a plate. Can he just stand with us while he eats his crepe? I said, yeah, no problem. I picked up my sausage and I bit into it, and no joking, it just squirted everywhere. All this red oil just squirted over him and his crepe. And I'm like, oh my God,
crepe
I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh, no problem. And then he just lifted up his crepe and walked away. But yes, with that. And then my friend Tina came and stood next to me, and I bit again. It shot all up her raincoat.
So if you don't want people standing with you, squirt them with your sausage.
Exactly.
Straight away.
And that was a nice sausage, but it was full of chorizo.
It was spicy.
But it was spicy. But
that was a sausage. It wasn't in a roll. It was sausage. It had 2 pieces of bread on the side, 4 gallons of mustard.
Yeah.
And was it sauerkraut or something on the side? But it was
I just like a plain pork sausage. That's all I want. Spicy. But yeah, so Vienna won that one. Vienna won the best sausage. Yvonne's here saying hello to everyone.
Hello.
And Trudy saying, am I right in thinking that what went on a river cruise stays on a river cruise? Exactly. Andy and Cara saying, without shadow doubt, the big sausage in Vienna was the winner. Yeah, totally agree. Gillian saying, welcome back. Thank you very, very much. And Florida and Lionel also saying, good evening and welcome back. Thank you. Everyone's just making it to because I'm just at 7 p.m. Morris is there as well. So love to see Morris.
Good evening, Morris.
Rose says she loved the cinnamon cake at the Budapest market. We never did try. We said, right, we need to try a chimney cake, but we were also full, weren't we? Because there was so much choice.
Anna and Mike had a chimney cake. They said it was fabulous.
Said it was good. And I've also bought some paprika, because I had some of the best. Oh my gosh, some of the best goulash soup I think I've ever had on the ship and off. So I bought some paprika back, and we've got some beef that Paulie went out shopping yesterday that we're going to slow cook, aren't we, and try our own goulash this week.
The last day when we were back in Budapest, we thought, we like to stick to tradition, be traditional, do what the locals do. So we found a fabulous Irish bar. And you had, that is where you had your goulash soup, was amazing. And I had a traditional Hungarian cheeseburger.
Terrible.
It was lovely.
Absolutely terrible.
It was the only burger I had the whole week. That was a good
So let's see. Amanda and Chris are here. Hi, over for a very windy Blackpool. Yes. Hope you're recovering well from a great... Sarah's here. Sarah and Sandra. Good evening, everyone. Having Riviera Radiance withdrawal symptoms here. It was such a beautiful ship. Absolutely stunning. Catherine saying, looked like you had a great time. Recover from your frivolities. Yes, it was absolutely fabulous. Yeah, it's Emma's birthday today. She's out at the moment. So Mark was just saying that to Emma. She's out having a good time. And Chris is here saying, evening, everyone.
Hiya, Chris.
Mark and Sheila, who were talking about, just made it in time. Sheila is wearing her Mrs. Christmas dress. Brilliant. Do you know what?
Her award-winning
Christmas dress. We wanted to give some prizes out during the week, but we didn't know if we'd have an opportunity to be able to have a room to utilize to do like a full-up quiz. So, which, as a case, we didn't. But we did. Sasha, the maitre d', was absolutely fantastic. And he gave us the the Mosaic restaurant for an hour one afternoon, just so we could have a little get-together. Johnny and Will had put together this quiz that we gave out at the beginning of the cruise, where everyone had to, this cryptic quiz, which was really hard, wasn't it? But fair play that we had some winners there. But we also decided that through the week we would give out some awards for people that just, you know, that we noticed did something different or just stood out from the crowd a little bit. And Sheila, when we had our Christmas day, which where we all wear our jumpers and our t-shirts, she had this fantastic Mrs. Christmas dress, which is, of course, is going to feature in our vlog. So that was absolutely fantastic.
I have to say, my Christmas shirt did get a lot of comments as well.
Your Christmas shirt, it did. But wait till you see that one, because it probably was looking rather, is it raunchy? Would you say is the word?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
And because we've been studying the picture and naming everyone, yes. That's the beauty of a small group, isn't it? Because you get to know everyone, which was lovely. Lynn saying greetings from Maryland. Look forward to hearing about the river cruise. And Davina's here. I think Davina's off soon with Anne and Mike, isn't it? On Queen Anne, off to another sort of Christmassy type cruise.
I hope you get better weather than
I know Ken and Lindsay currently on, is it Ventura? And I think all the ships around the Atlantic at the moment are being battered. So hopefully it'll improve by then. Happy holidays from Florida from Julie, so thank you so much. And Nick's here, so have you seen Nick? River Cruise looks so much fun. It really, really was. I did survive my sausage. Thank you very much. And Big Brother is watching. It always is, isn't it? Gloria's here. Lovely Gloria.
Evening, Gloria.
I'm here enjoying your stories. So thank you so much, Gloria, for joining us all the way from Saskatchewan in Canada. And Angela's here from Cumbria. Very windy. So Peter's just here. Let's have a look what Peter's asking. Peter's from Australia, going on the World Voyage of Queen Mary 2 next month, Southampton in Queensgrill. Wow. What is the embarkation process like? Normally very, very civilized with Cunard, isn't it? We've never had any hiccups in Southampton.
Southampton, this is my humble opinion. I'm very, well, not biased because it's not like I'm from Southampton, but we have done a lot of cruising and nobody does embarkation like Southampton. They just really seem to have it nailed down. The only time we've ever had any issues, ironically, was on our group cruise, and that was because they had a medical emergency on board. A medical emergency on board.
Yes, they did.
That they just really, really have got their stuff together out of Southampton. If you'd have said we're going out of Singapore, I'd have been very worried for you because that's the worst place we've sailed out of. Singapore, renowned for its sleek, everything runs like clockwork, apart from when you're going on a cruise, because it really sucks going out of Singapore. We've been out of there twice, and both times it's been a disaster. Southampton is great, both getting on and getting off.
And you should get priority, Peter, because you're in Queensgrill, so you'll be on.
But I wouldn't tell him. I wouldn't tell him you're in Queensgrill, Peter. All I would do, I would queue up. I would queue up with everybody else for the full experience.
I hope that's going to be an amazing. So hopefully you'll be able to tune in with us on our lives and let us know how you're getting on, because it'd be awesome to hear. Catherine saying, if you do another river cruise in 2027, would you go with a different company to Riviera and try to ensure some later sail away so that you get to the markets by night? I think it's certainly something we need to think about.
Well, that's what we spoke about earlier.
That's what we would definitely be doing. We want to know the times exactly before we committed. I know it's difficult because cruise lines often don't give you, they'll just give you the itinerary and then they give you the times later on. So that's quite a difficult one. But yeah, definitely, I think we did miss out on Bratislava. So we could have had the choice in Vienna, but we've fully seen our things in Budapest.
Yeah, I think the two, like you said, the two biggest disappointments was the fact that you had tons of time in Budapest, which is great, but you virtually had no time at all in Bratislava.
Well, we had 9 to 5.
Yeah, but
so
that's still
a good day to explore.
But if you want to see some,
but
if you want to see some nighttimey stuff, and then with Vienna, it wouldn't have been so bad if they'd said, well, you know, we know it's gala night, and we know we got the string quartet coming on, but we're not staying away till 9. Last shuttle bus is back at 8. But for them to say, we're not staying away till 9, last shuttle bus is 5. That I found particularly annoying because that then took the sort of giving you the option out of your hands.
Well, you could actually get an Uber, I know, but a lot of people aren't comfortable doing that. They want to rely on.
But I just felt that they were, that was almost forcing you to get back
from the cruise. Otherwise, you know, it was mostly quite.
But it's like Carole said. They had they had gala night and the entertainment when we were in Vienna. Why couldn't they have had that when they were in Bratislava?
But they could have had the gala night, but then just had the quartet come on in Vienna for those that wanted to listen to that.
But I'm sure there's people capable of playing musical instruments in Bratislava the same as...
But people go to... Vienna is all about the music. It's all about the classical...
It means nothing to me, Annie.
For you and for us, I went upstairs to listen to it.
Do that again?
It
means nothing to me.
I went upstairs to watch a bit of the concert. Paul and quite a few other people just stayed down in the bar area. So it depends, but you could see people on there were
they were loving it,
adoring it.
We stayed down into the bar area because there wasn't any room at the top. Plus the acoustics in the bar, because we were down lower, were absolutely fabulous.
Anyway,
that's what I'm going with.
So those were just the two tricky things, wasn't it? We think, if that had been planned a little bit better, that would have been a good. Michael and Laurie here. So Michael and Laurie joined us all the way from California, and it was just fabulous spending time with them. They loved the group, and we're laughing and joking with everyone. He said, "Cheers from Football Ranch, 80 degrees of sunny today."
We used to like Michael and Laurie. Now we've just gone off.
Missing all the fabulous people we met. See you in Southampton, April. Yes, they've just booked for Cunard, so that's going to be awesome. But thank you for taking the time and traveling all that way to spend obviously a week with us, which was absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to April big time.
And Michael is the American version of Ken and Lindsay, because he's a very, very bad influence on me. Every night about 10 o'clock, right, I'm going to call it a night there then, Michael. Oh, we'll just stay up and have one more with me. And he twists my arm. And he's quite strong. And he twists my arm and I had to stay up. And every night we were the last ones in the bar. Mostly. Very, very bad influence.
So Andy and Christine's here from the Cotswold. Welcome from a very wet and windy Morton Marsh. It is. Brandy is on Facebook asking, favourite meal on board?
Favorite meal on board was the bistro grill, whatever
it's called. The Riverside Kitchen.
Riverside Kitchen, it's called apparently. You have to book it, but it's FOC included in your fare. And make sure if you're doing that sort of thing, you book it straight away.
Book it as soon as you get on, because it gets booked up.
In our group, couldn't get in. We were very fortunate, and
we booked it.
Early in the week. We booked it earlier in the week. It's like a surf and turfy type thing. It's a meat based restaurant.
They had vegetarian stuff on there too.
But it's it would be what would be termed a steakhouse on a normal cruise ship.
Yeah, I think so.
And the food was fabulous.
Food was superb.
Service was outstanding.
Yeah.
And couldn't fault it.
And you could see the chefs cooking.
Yeah, you could see him cooking.
The meat was cooked to perfection.
And the wine drinkers, there were 6 of us went, and the wine drinkers in the party, they said, "Oh my God, the wine is so much better in here than it is anywhere else."
So
that was my favourite meal. And then the next, after that was the gala dinner, because that was really good, wasn't it?
But we had some fabulous food
Yeah,
in the main dining
yeah.
room. I had some really, really good food. So yeah, but yes, if you are going on Riviera Radiance, make sure you book the Riverside Kitchen. It's right at the back, so you've got views over the aftership, and it's lovely, and the food is superb. Oh, my said they got home last Wednesday. I'm a bit behind then. And it's saying it looks like you had a lovely time, great company, fabulous city to visit. I like the sail of the ship. Ship was stunning, absolutely stunning. Nick said, "Oh no, yeah," because Nick's a lady of the same, well, younger than me, but has the same issues with heat. I wouldn't cope with that temperature. Do the cabins have air conditioning? Yes,
yeah,
they
all
did.
had
Yes,
aircon,
they
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Very well appointed, the cabins, to be fair.
Mark is saying, "Yep, I see Riviera Radiance was awarded by Cruise for the best new river cruise. It was beautiful. It is beautiful, absolutely stunning ship, no doubts about it." Davina's saying, where did Paul get his Wacky Races t-shirt from? The river cruise looked great fun. Hope you will do another group river cruise in the future. We definitely will. And it was
a lovely gift off Donna and Scott Grayson.
Yes. Yeah, we had some fantastic gifts off a lot of the people that come on our cruise. So thank you so much. You're also thoughtful, and it really, really warms our hearts.
So they got me a Wacky Races one.
Talk of the lady.
And Scott had Dastardly and Muttley.
He did.
Those magnificent men in their flying machine shirts.
We'll have to ask them where they got them from. And talk of the devil, Don said, great group cruise, just at work, sneaking in and playing on AI app and changing some of the pics. Yes, just as we were coming on, Donna messaged me on Facebook saying, look what I've done to this one photo. She's got us all waving and doing silly stuff. So I'll have to investigate that later. So that's awesome. Sue's asking, question, which you prefer, river cruises or ocean?
I don't want to pretend I'm trying to dodge the question, but it's nothing like it at all. The only comparison is you're on water, but there's no comparison to a river cruise.
I guess you still have your daily programs. You still have an itinerary.
But the experience is
it is totally different. We love both. If I could only cruise again, I would pick ocean because there's far more variety, but I would go on another river cruise in a heartbeat.
Yes.
We've done 4 now.
That's perfectly summed it up.
Yeah, we've done 4 now, and we'll definitely be doing more. Mark is saying maybe the river cruise could have been one extra day. It would have been nice to do it a week because it was so busy, wasn't it? Well, we were all saying we're missing our sea day because we were all saying, oh my gosh, we're up in the morning for another excursion. If we'd gone to bed early, it wouldn't have been much of a problem, would it? Wow. But yeah, I totally agree. I think if we did it again, I wanted to do it for longer, but then it would be more expensive. And I do think sometimes in between your cruises, it's nice to have that sea day where you just chill out. And if we did have a longer cruise and more time on the water to enjoy the top deck, I think that would really enhance the whole river cruising experience. So I think that's good. Hello from Arizona. This is so helpful. I'm glad that is. So Danielle Garrett saying, hi guys, watching you from Arcadia in Copenhagen. Just done 2 days in Hamburg, Copenhagen, and on board to Oslo and Amsterdam, both for another 2 days. Your river cruise looked amazing. We'll have a fantastic time. Arcadia's on our to-do list. I've got a little cruise that I've earmarked for next year on Arcadia. I definitely want to try another P&O. Craig's in the house. Craig Stone, Craig. Nice to see you. Carl and Carlo have started talking and just lost interest. My vote is for an early or late summer river cruise.
Oh, there you go.
yeah. I think it's really something we need to think about because we were having lots of discussions while we were on the river cruise with all the group because we always love to get feedback of things that they feel went well and things that they didn't. And I think a lot of people were saying we knew that the group on a river cruise was a success because everyone was just having such a great time. But then it was the little nicky picky things that we were thinking, if we could have spent some time upstairs, if we had had a bit more outdoor space, then that would have been great. So Andy and Christy saying, what's the QR code in the corner? That's if you want to join us on any of our group cruises. That is the link to the page on our website, so you can find out all the information.
Somebody asked on that.
It is. Dawn saying, Carole, I have the same Canadian mug I brought my Yeti from the Yeti shop in Calgary. Well, this was a lovely one from our fabulous friends, Kevin and Cassie. I don't know if you see, they got my name on it too. And I love this cup. Absolutely love it. It was a gift from what are you doing?
I'm just seeing if it works. Oh, it's taken us to the swingers page.
Yeah, there you are.
Yes,
So just show. Yeah, it just goes to our group cruise page on our website. So do check that out, and you'll see all our cruises.
Isn't she clever, eh?
Well, no, not me. I just StreamYard said we got QR codes available. Do you want one? I was like, okay then.
Yeah, but didn't
Adrian's also
StreamYard
saying
say to
this
you,
is a very good point.
Didn't StreamYard also say to you, should we make you really skinny on the page for this live this week?
I'd love anyone to make me really skinny.
And you believed them.
Question, what time of year is a good time of year, considering we went in June and was sat on the cruise in a flood? That is a very good point, Adrian, and something we really, really need to look into to see, because Adrian, Barnsley types, they went on a cruise and spent a lot of time on a coach, because sometimes with river cruising in the summer, you can get a lot of flooding, so you can't get under the bridges. Therefore, the passengers are taken by coach to the destinations, which that would be a nightmare for me.
Well, it's a double-edged sword because the water can be too high, and that means you can't get under the bridges, or the water could be too low, and it means you scrape your bottom on the ground, and nobody wants to scrape their bottom on the ground.
Well, some people might like that. Who knows? I think I would have been disappointed not getting them in the evening. Yeah, when I've looked at Christmas market, they don't give the port times, which is frustrating. Exactly that. I wish they would be far more specific. Let's have a look at the next question. And in Carla saying we did have an issue with the bar manager, but Sasha was very apologetic. He also addressed the issue made up for the following night. Yeah, and Sasha, he is a real credit to Riviera Travel. He made himself known right from the beginning, didn't he? Yeah. And he was always coming and checking up on us. And wherever we were on the ship, is everything going okay? And you know, he's a please, if there's any issues, let us know straight away. So that was brilliant. MJ saying swingers. I know we were just crying with laughter when we thought the roses got her pineapples out. Mark is saying, Mrs. Christmas here. I also had a bit of a run-in with a member of the spa staff. I didn't like the coffee from the machine on the landing area. I thought I would give the barista coffee a go. Yes, Sheila, there's a coffee machine that you can help yourself to 24 hours a day. And they did I really enjoyed the decaf cappuccino. But they've also got a water machine where they give you the little Riviera, a complimentary water bottle, and it serves sparkling water and regular water, which was lovely to see. But I know Sheila didn't like it, and they got quite funny with her from the bar, and then charged her for the coffee that actually was worse than the one that was in the machine. So yes, I remember you saying that, Sheila. So let's have a look. Mike and Carrie saying, what's on tap for Christmas dinner? Carrie's family tradition is kippered salmon for breakfast with American-style biscuits, eggs, bacon, and drawn butter. Well, that just sounds mighty weird.
That sounds really nice, honey.
So for us, we always have turkey or beef, or selection of both.
It's selection of both, but it's supposed to be that if you're saying a proper traditional Christmas dinner, it'd be turkey, stuffing, roast potatoes, boiled potatoes, sometimes mashed potatoes, and then you'll have things like roast parsnips, roast carrots, sprouts. You've got to have sprouts. You've got to have a load of sprouts. Peas. You have cabbage, peas,
and loads of gravy.
Loads of gravy, proper gravy.
Stuffing.
I said stuffing already. Cuddly toy, cheese
fondue sets.
But yeah, so that's
name that program. Anyone name that program?
And we don't. To be fair, I can't say in my family life that there's ever been a Christmas breakfast.
No,
because normally we'll be traveling to somebody else, so we just get there and say, "Hello, it's dinner. We're starving."
It is interesting though, talking to everyone around the world. It's very, very different, isn't it?
What's a kippered salmon, by the way?
Well, I guess it's kippered. What that means? Someone, can you explain to us, Carrie?
What an absolute waste of time that statement was. I guess it's kippered. Well, I worked that out by reading kippered salmon.
I don't know, because we.
What if you don't know? Just say you don't know.
We think of kippers as like little.
Are they fish?
They are fish.
Can we have kippers for breakfast? Mummy dear, mummy dear.
We're not.
What you're doing now is you're just digging yourself a hole. You don't know what a kippered salmon is.
Question. Julie saying, do you think a land tour would be better for Christmas markets? I really want to try a river cruise, but maybe not at Christmas. Do you know, I think you need to just investigate and find out, which seems to be the holy grail of you can't find it, is what times are you going to be at these? Because I think a river cruise was lovely to explore these cities, and we've seen snippets of it. We've seen, obviously, Budapest we've gone through all that, so I won't repeat it. I guess if you wanted to have a true from morning right through till you go to bed of a place, then a land tour would work.
Yes.
But then getting from A to B would be, obviously you just have to have like a coach tour and then a stay over in hotels. I think that would be quite lovely because they're not far away, are they? For us, though, it's not just about the Christmas markets and the destination. It was about the experience on the river cruise ship. And I don't think you get that on a land tour.
No.
So for us, the most fun we had, I think, was one on our excursion where we'd get on the coach in the morning and we'd all start laughing about something. We'd go for a walk around tour. Then everyone would go and do their thing. We'd be back on the ship. Everyone would go to dinner. So we would sit with different people and everyone would be sitting with whoever and making friends. And then the evenings on the ship, I think, we had a lot of fun, wasn't it? So it depends. It depends what your tastes are.
But just think, I know obviously somebody could say, oh, well, this is the logistics. But to me, the way round all the situations we had, which our biggest bugbear was not being in the ports late enough in the evening. Yeah. Where, to me, we were getting to places at 7 o'clock in the morning.
We didn't need
to get there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We could have got there at midday. We could have got there at midday, have a bit of lunch. They say, right, it's time for your walking tour now. Yeah. You do your hour, your 2 hours, whatever it was. And then you're in the middle of town. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Is right, crack on. You need to be back on the ship by 9 o'clock. Off you go. Yeah. You get a lovely lot of darkness. You get the ambience, what have you. Now, I'm sure they'll probably say there's some logistics that wouldn't allow that, but I can't see what they would be.
Well, it's obviously going to be just
because you're still going to have the same amount of time.
And times,
isn't it? But you're still going to have the same amount of time to get to the next port because instead of having to get there at 8 o'clock,
you get there
later. So
it's very interesting watching. That's a very good point about river cruise ships because I don't know if you've seen. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're catching up. We're still a little bit behind, but we showed that when we said good morning. I think it was in Budapest. Obviously, we had a ship right next to us, so I could see right into the next cabin. We've got a very good video about those that are new to river cruising. Make sure you check out our river cruising video that tells you all the things that would surprise us when we first did one, because there's quite a few things you need to know because you will be docking. But you'll be sat like we were sat in the Riverside Kitchen, and also I said the ship's moving and you're always maneuvering. So 1 minute you're by the pier, the next minute moving and a ship will come in there, and then next time then you'll move to again and another ship will appear, or then both of them will go and then you'll be back by the side.
Yeah, because what got really confusing is the one night we were overnighting in port, but we were next to a ship. So the shores wherever it is, and then there's a ship, then there are us. So we've got a ship in between us and the land. But then because this one's going, we had to move out. They had to go, and then we had to move across because we were there overnight. But and then somebody said, "Oh, we're sailing." And I thought, "Well, bloody hope not. We're not going. We don't need. We're overnight here."
So they're swapping and changing all the time. So I guess it depends on the demand of the ports. But we were never more than 3 deep, were we?
No.
Where you've seen sometimes they can be 3, 4, 5, can't they?
But there was a person on our. I wouldn't recommend river cruising if you have got a struggling with mobility, but there was a lady on our cruise who was in a wheelchair. And they were getting off every port, even when we had ships in between.
And Riviera Radiance has got a lift, but it doesn't go to the sun deck, but it goes down to all the cabin floors and to obviously the lounges and the restaurants. So it is doable on some ships, but do check that out if they can provide accessibility. But going around in Budapest on a wheelchair must be hard because the walk down to the shoes by the Danube was all the cobbles, so it would be quite challenging, I would think. Alice here, so I'm a bit late, no problem at all. And Diane's here from Sydney at 6:15 here in Sydney. So I'd
like to go there one day.
Yes. What's the countdown, Paulie? What's the countdown? Do you know?
Well, the countdown to the holiday, because it's the 9th, so we leave sunny old Blighty in 19 days, and we get to Sydney
25 days
on the 1st.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
Of January, New Year's Day. Apparently, they're going to have fireworks on New Year's Eve just to welcome us in the following day, I think, which is very nice.
Nice. Yeah. So let's see. Tony says, "Hi both. So glad you had a fab time river cruising." Yes, we did. Dawn's also got the same cup for me from Canada. Emma Cruz, hey, cutie pies. Congratulations, Emma, on the Cruise Globe. 100,000 users, isn't it? It's mad. So, yes, if you don't know what the Cruise Globe is, Google it. Go to our website. We've got a post all about it. But it's a fantastic app that everyone that loves cruises, you need to get on because it is absolutely fabulous. So make sure you do that. Mark said he enjoyed a huge apple strudel with vanilla sauce at Ada too. Yes, we didn't have the vanilla sauce. We just had it dry, but oh my gosh. Claire says she's on Riviera Radiance next year. I'm really enjoying your clips. What sort of cabin did you have? We had a standard balcony cabin, which had a Juliet. It's not a balcony. It's actually just a Juliet French balcony.
No, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, but I don't think anybody had a balcony.
No, not on River Radiance.
But some river cruise ships do have a genuine balcony. But this is just a door that's from floor to ceiling, that opens
like a big patio door,
big enough to back a minibus through.
It is, and it's fabulous. So there's 3 decks. We were on the middle decks. We like to be closer to the water. The cabins on deck 3 are the most expensive ones, I believe.
Yes.
And then on our deck was deck 2, but that's where we like to be. And then you're on deck 1. You have some cabins that just had a window that was just above the waterline. Now we're putting together a video together all about the 3 types of cabin because there were some issues with the ones on the deck 1, and we loved our cabin. And then we've got a suite to show you on deck 3. So once I put that all together, that'll be on our YouTube channel. So, but our cabin was compact and small, but we couldn't fault it. It was great. Really, it was great. Tony said the sausages look great. Carole's was very big. It was.
But size isn't everything, Tony.
So I think you should send your photo of the large sausage to your local newspaper.
We haven't got a local newspaper anymore.
Danielle, I think the system's still going, Paul, I think.
No, I don't think there's a paper copy anymore, is it?
I don't know, actually.
No,
that's a good point. So. It's Gloucestershire Live, isn't it? Forgot to say we visited Hofbräu Munchen in Hamburg. Amazing. Our
fabulous.
pub. Yes,
you get some big sausages in there.
You can do. So Claire saying the moral of the story is stay away from Carole when she's got a big sausage.
That is very true, Claire.
Lynn saying welcome home. Thank you. Candyman is just saying thanks for the memories. We laughed so much on the river cruise. Look forward to catching up at the hot air balloon. So that's Andy and Lorraine. I was thinking Candyman 999. Yes, Andy and Lorraine don't live too far from us near Swindon, and we were talking about obviously our first date was at the hot air balloon, which is now being
air balloon. It wasn't called the hot air balloon.
Wasn't it the hot air?
No, it's called the
air balloon. It's now been knocked down because they're doing a big new sort of not motorway.
The missing link is called.
From here to Cirencester.
Yeah, so
yes. But yes, and they had such a fab time. First river cruise and first group cruise, and they loved it. But it was great having you guys on board. So thank you so much. Let's see here.
Oh, Jason Bourne.
So it sounds brilliant. I definitely want to do a river cruise at some point. I'll take safety glasses for the sausage fest. Exactly.
That must be Dave Webb, I reckon, in the house, honey.
30 minutes. Is it football tonight? Is it?
Yes.
Oh God. I hate it. You didn't. It's not on my diary, Paul. You didn't tell me.
Well, unfortunately, Tottenham Hotspur don't.
And let's just you do your football. Us ladies, me and Anne, even at the airport when Anne, it was like, oh my God, why can't they just leave it alone? Anyway, back to more fun things. Catherine said friends of ours have just come back from their first cruise, 2 cruise in the Rhine. They couldn't get over the standard food. And they said the service was fantastic. Excellent. We had a great time on TUI too. Great time. TUI.
This is what I would say. The trouble is, and I know it's first world problems, it makes me sound like a bit of a silly Billy, but we did TUI a long time ago. That was the first one.
Yes, we need.
But my recollection of the food was that it was good. It wasn't exceptional. It was good. What I will say, of all the river cruises we've done, TUI easily, and I think this is mirrored by their ocean cruises, had the best entertainment. There was more going on. There was interactive quizzes. There was music. They had
a duet that were on every night, but they also had a cruise director that sang.
As well.
But
they had some stuff.
They brought quite a few acts on
as well.
Yeah.
So they were more. The activities in the day was great. And
Same.
ironically, they did the sail away from Budapest about 9 o'clock at night, which was spectacular because it meant everything was lit up, which we didn't get the benefit of on this cruise.
Yeah.
But my recollection was it was very good. The food was very good. Avalon and Amador was definitely a step up. And I said I thought Riviera, the food was great. It wasn't exceptional, but it was great. But it was very, very good.
I think it's a step up from what we had on TUI.
Yeah. But like you said, it's a long time ago. But yes, going
back to the quizzes, we had some quizzes on Riviera. There are quizzes every evening of some sort, some interactive, some not. But the only entertainment that we had on an evening was a gentleman on a piano who was very good. But then he was quite quiet on his piano for the first 3 nights. And then the last 2 nights, he seemed to sort of come out of his shell and started singing and had everyone up dancing. So, I don't know why he didn't do that from the start. So it was very enjoyable. It was still very, very enjoyable, wasn't it? So Anne saying Mike's not allowed on the next cruise. He's too grumpy. Abby's with me on QA. No, we loved having Mike on board. Mike and Paul. I think
you mean award-winning Mike.
Award-winning Mike.
Yes.
We loved it. We loved having you guys on board. Ali's saying, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Yes, please do. If you enjoy our lives, that'd be great. So Emma said, I'm so surprised to hear about Singapore. I've never had any problems there. Southampton's always good too, though. Maybe we're just bad omens
we've
there.
We've only done Singapore twice. Once for Royal Caribbean, once with, what are they called?
Say that again, I wasn't listening.
Singapore. Once for Royal Caribbean, it was the other time.
Asmara, which was a disaster.
And it was a disaster.
Yeah. Anyway, I can see, look, Anne and Davina are getting a date in the Commodore Club. How lovely is that? Right. Barbara saying, following your recommendations, I'm off to Warner's Isle of Wight next Monday for 5 days. It looks like it'll rain every day. Will there be enough to keep me occupied during the day on site? Barbara, they do quizzes and all sorts in the day and they have some entertainment.
And if you're going next Monday, I would imagine it will be like their Christmas program.
Yeah.
And if it is their Christmas program, they treat it like it's Christmas. So they have like Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve.
She's away for 5 days.
Yeah. So
I'm sure
there'll be plenty. There'll be pantomimes and all sorts going on.
There will be. Really, and also in the day, they have a lot of activities that they could bring indoors. So I know a lot of Warners have a lot of like outdoor activities, sporting, but if they can't do that, then they improvise, because we found that out, didn't we, with the team. They have a really good team that's fun. Mike's asking, how many times did you sing Billy Joel's Vienna Waits for You or Falco's Vienna Calling whilst in Vienna?
None at all. And let me tell you why. Because I don't know the Billy Joel song Vienna Waits for You. I do know the Falco song Vienna Calling, but his most famous hit in the UK was Rock Me Amadeus, which I suppose would have been very apt because obviously he was from Vienna. But what I did keep singing, which maybe it didn't make it to America, was It Means Nothing to Me, Oh Vienna, which was a song by Ultravox, whose lead singer was Midjur.
Tom and Donna here say, great seeing your ever experience been a good one. Yes, it has been. It has been indeed. And Bridge is saying, would you ever just stay in Vienna or Bratislav's land holiday for Christmas, or given Mr. Louis before Christmas? We would. We've all said that all these 3 places, Bratislava, Vienna and Budapest, would be awesome for a 4-night, for a long weekend.
But financially, the best place to stay is Budapest because it's very, very...
Bratislava.
Well, it's still Bratislava is more expensive than Budapest.
In what regard?
In regards of expense, because I've done some research today, because you said, write me some stuff, Annie, write me some stuff. So I did some research, and Budapest is one of the cheapest capital cities in Europe, if not the cheapest.
It is cheap.
47% cheaper than London.
Yeah, no, definitely they are. Yeah. It's getting there. Hotels, looking at hotels though. It depends where you stay, isn't it? If you want to stay central, hotels these days are. If I went back to Bratislava, I'd love to go up that. They've got like a UFO bridge. I'd like to go up the restaurant there apparently, which is supposed to be brilliant. So there's lots of things we'd like to do and go back. Sheila's here saying we had a ball on the river cruise, met so many lovely people, made some wonderful friends. Many thanks to you both and Dan for arranging it. Just about recovered now. You're very, very welcome. Let's have a look. what other questions we've got? M just saying, can't miss the opportunity to say, yay, Lando Norris is Formula One World Champion, loving the pick pause post on Discord.
Yes, indeed. It's that's posted with a tinge of sadness because the man that built that car for him unfortunately passed away last year, so he never got to see Lando win the world title. But yeah, he was I don't remember him at all, but I had heard that he does the same sport as
For those that don't know what Paul's on about, is Paul's obviously his...
I do a sport called autograss racing.
Yes.
And in autograss racing, from the age of 10 to 16, you can race in a special juniors class, which is like a big go-kart or a small Formula One car, but it's on a 1/4 mile dirt oval. And Lando Norris did have a go at it back in the day. And so it was I did hear that when he first started doing autographs and they said to him, you know, I'm sure you want to go on to Formula One and win the world title when you grow up. And he said, I'll be happy if I grow up and be as good a driver as Paul Morgan.
I'm sure he said
might be making that up. We'll never know.
Mike and Carole laughing at the Swingers page. I know. How mad is that to even think that? Craig is saying he loves his Yeti mug too. It's huge and orange, and everyone takes the Michael out of it when I'm in meetings. They are big, aren't they? But it's great. I love it. Paul will have like 2 or 3 cups of coffee, and I'm still drinking my one because I quite like coffee that goes cold. I don't mind cold coffee.
Apart from my dear old mum, God rest her soul, and everybody who's ever met Carole will know that she is the slowest drinker in the history of drinking. If I said to her now, there's like 2 mouthfuls of coffee in there. If I said to her now, if you can drink that down in 5 seconds, you'll get £1 million. We're still going to be poor.
I would try.
I know you'd try, but you'd fail.
I'm not good at shots and doing things that fast, am I? Mark says Sasha was fantastic. He was. Sonia saying generation game. Yep. So Sonia's won. Quite a few people saying generation game. Lizzie Lou's joined in, so thank you so much to join in.
And thank you for the Christmas card.
Tina saying, yes, thank you for the Christmas card. We were lucky when we booked our ambassador cruise the other times in port from the very beginning. Often it is on ocean cruises. We know when we've got our, but river cruising it's a little bit different, isn't it? A little bit different. Susan said, good evening from Barcelona. Thank you very much for joining us. Sonia saying, a bit off topic, does the Discovery Princess have good shampoo and conditioner, or do I buy your own? What did I use on Discovery? It was lovely products. Oh my
Fairy
god!
liquid, wasn't it?
No, it's not fairy liquid.
Fairy liquid and a cap full of comfort as the conditioner.
I know Holland America have Elemis, so I'm not taking anything with me in January. Oh gosh, I can't think, but I know it was. They have lovely products. Cunard have the Penhaligons. Why can't I think what Princess used? Can anyone let us know? Can anyone remember from what Princess have? Because I just can't think what it is. Teaser from Temu. Scott has gone crazy and banned from buying anymore. Okay. Yeah, Mike's saying that they have them on there, but I'm not sure what make it is. Gavin's here. So let me see, Gavin. Hope you had the best time in Budapest. We did. So said, so you'll be flying New Year's Eve. I wonder how much you receive. We fly on... let me get my yellow for Australia. Look, my yellow book. That's how I work out these things.
She uses the nation's rugby shirt colour for colour coding.
No, we fly actually on New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve. So we land actually on the 2nd.
Oh, I thought we arrived on the 1st. Oh, I take it. That's why you don't look to me for anything factual.
I think there's been a few questions about accessibility, and Gavin's asking that again. There was a lift on Riviera Radiance that went to just the lounge areas, but it didn't go up to the sun deck, so you wouldn't be able to get right up to the top. So there is some accessibility, but I'd be very careful of getting all the details from the ship that you're picking, that it's got what you need on there. So who won the first prize?
First quiz, I think it was the team that had about, I think it was supposed to be 6 to a team, and Anne and Mike's team had about 47 in there too.
Paul's not a sore loser. We came second.
Yeah, I didn't even play the first quiz.
You did.
I was watching the football.
Well, you were dipping in and out.
No, I wasn't. I was watching
he
the
was being
football.
unsociable watching
I was watching the football.
And I spelt, we had to name all the reindeers, and I spelt Cupid
with a B.
With a B.
Cupid. That famous Cupid.
Why did I do that? So we lost a point.
And that's why we lost, even though I wasn't playing.
Anyway, Tony's saying we enjoyed the river cruise 2 years ago. Food and entertainment was good. Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm just saying, I think Hal are changing from Elemis to a Dutch brand. No way.
Well, just be
careful when it runs out on ship.
Don't be dissing the Dutch.
Maybe they have some love, but you know how I love Elemis. So anyway, so thank you so much for everyone who's joined us for our chat. I hope you found our feedback around about Riviera Radiance. Obviously, we've got at the moment, for those of you watching our videos at the moment, make sure you check out our Costa vlogs, which I don't think I've put a little thing in there. Poor how remiss. Well, that's our first one, but the second one's out already. So make sure you watch our Costa Smeralda vlog series. After that, I'm going to go straight into Riviera Radiance while it's still sort of Christmassy and winter, and showcase what our river cruise was like for when we book ones in the future, so people can see that. So that's the plans for doing that. We would just want to say thank you so much for watching. What are you looking at?
Would I come to Las Vegas?
Would you come to Las Vegas for Formula One? Welcome to our city.
Do you know, I'd love that I put my Formula One link in, but I don't watch Formula One at all, to be fair. I don't watch it on the telly. My brother loves it. He absolutely loves it. But I don't. It's not. I don't find it very interesting. Sorry. But if it's an invitation.
Yeah.
But Carole's niece has just been to Las Vegas to watch the Formula One.
And she went to see Pitbull. She had a fabulous time. And Heather's saying she loves river cruises, and so do we.
Yes.
So I think the moral of the story is, we love river cruise and we love ocean cruise. We just love cruising. So thank you all so much for joining us for this hour and a bit. We're going to be back live, I believe, next Tuesday. Is it, Paulie?
Next Tuesday, yeah.
I haven't... Yes, we're live for the next couple of Tuesdays before we fly to Dubai, and hopefully we'll work out when we can go live then, because we're going to be in Dubai and then obviously Australia with the time. We're trying to work it out when we were on our.
Well, I mean, if you're
California
committed, you'll
trip.
get up at 3 a.m. to watch us.
No. No. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We've had a great time as always, and we'll see you all. We'll see you all.